redemption. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. Igniting the fire within you. Exalting the melody of freedom. These are the things that will bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Down, down, down.
Let me tell you, it's in the air. Joy is in the air. Love is in the air. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Don't sleep on it, brother. You might get left, sister. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Justice. No need to be counted, cause I am down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down for the end of racism, for the end of bigotry, cause I am down. For the end of misogyny, that's right. For all the isms out there, just down, down, down. Let's bring it down. Rise up, people. No more foolishness, and let's bring it way down.
Riding the river of change into the cries of contrition. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. We are the children of Eden, dancing and celebrating freedom. We are the ones that must bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. We've got to bring it down. Down. Stand up and shout. Stand up and shout. Rise
Accountability
together.
starts now. The Eric Dawson Radio Show.
Yeah. Rise up. Stand up, shout it loud.
If you are not prepared to come to that table and to represent that voice, don't come. Because we don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice. We don't need black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need Muslims that don't want to be a Muslim voice. We don't need queers that don't want to be a queer voice. And if you're worried about being marginalized and stereotyped, please don't even show up.
Hey guys, Oh, wait. Let me turn this off. All right. So there we go. Turn that off. Welcome everybody. We had some audio issues here, but I'm sure you guys heard the intro to the show. Today is Thursday. Happy Thursday. It's
Friday's Eve.
Happy Friday's Eve. It's a little cold outside today.
Yes.
Yeah. But happy Friday. I hope all is well with everybody. Um, what do you say, Diane?
You mean happy Thursday?
What did I say?
Yeah. Thursday is Friday. Friday Eve. The Eve
Yeah.
of Friday.
Yeah, happy Thursday. I'm sorry. I'm pushing the week. I'm pushing it along. I'm ready for it to end. Oh man. So, how you guys doing today?
Good morning, Eric. I'm fine.
Are you sure, Diane?
I am borderline fine. I just, you hold me up in the morning. People don't know. I must talk to you. I wonder if iPhone can keep track of the people that you talk to and average out the hours and minutes per day. Because I must talk to you at least almost every other hour of the day.
We do talk a lot, Diane.
We talk a lot and about random stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah. But what we didn't talk about last night was my adventures at the hair salon. Because remember when I met up with you, I told you I was going to get my hair done.
Right. Now you asked me what I thought about braids. Did you get it braided?
I did.
What kind of braids?
Oh, you should post a picture.
Yeah, no, I don't. If I post a picture, then I'm gonna have to tell who did it, and I don't think that's gonna be beneficial to them.
Oh, uh-oh.
So I went in with one idea and a photo that she had seen previously before I got there. But let's start on the appointment thing. So with you guys, now that COVID is happening, you guys have to make appointments to go to the barbershop?
Yeah, got to make an appointment with Farrakhan.
Oh, you make an appointment?
Yep.
You prefer that, right?
I do.
Yep.
I don't, I no longer have time to just sit around. Right? So the barbershop, I don't know about, well, the salon is like that too. Because I used to work I told you about my my salon days, right? When I burnt the lady's hair out and all that kind of stuff. But look, there's all kind of gossip that goes on. Who did what to who, and who's messing with who, and blah 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 blah. I just don't have time for it, And at the barbershop, it's less of that and more of like I'd imagine if you were going to the barbershop this week, the conversation was about the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight. Okay. Everybody's talking about that. Oh, and Nate Rock. Nate is still on the canvas, by the way.
So let's go back to that just for a little bit. Nate, what was his profession? He was a basketball player.
Basketball.
So what made him go into the ring? Just because they said the word charity? Like I don't understand. What was his frame of thinking when he said he signed up for this? Do you know?
Diane, this is just a classic case where, and it just happened to play itself out on a big stage in a square ring, where, you bite off more than you can chew, or, I can give you all of the different sayings, right? But at the end of the day, Nate was out of his element, and was too proud to acknowledge that. And so, and then again, I made fun of him. I put up a couple memes and all that kind of stuff. But I'm at a point now where Nate should really be watched because he took a vicious blow to the head twice. One, the punch, and two, the canvas when his head hit the canvas. Yeah, and like I said in the show following the fight, takes five, 5 mile an hour impact
Wow.
can kill you.
So the guy who was boxing was a professional
He,
boxer.
I don't know, but he looked. Listen,
He
he
was
was
a
shy.
whole lot better.
Oh, he was shining like he's shining that night, Diane. Listen, if I play a look, Diane, if I play a first grader in basketball, I look like a professional. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
That's interesting. So anyway, back to the hair braiding. So I did get my hair braided. So I went in, like I said, with one look. Oh, no. So I made an appointment. So now some stylists work with various different software apps where you can go online, choose your services, and then either prepay or leave a deposit or just book. And then the alert will go to the stylist. They'll look at it. They'll confirm in their appointment book that it's open at the time that you chose, and you're booked.
Mm-hmm.
So I started this process 3 weeks ago. Making the appointment didn't go through, call and text and all of this stuff, which was probably a sign. And we get these signs, but we don't follow the signs. We just keep forging through.
Mm-hmm.
Persistence.
Persistence. And then you start calling other people that know the person. You're like, what's up with your girl? Blah, 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 blah. Finally get a confirmation the day before the appointment. Go to the appointment, hair done. Picture and hair results do not look the same. So I went in with one thought to come out like a queen and princess, and I actually came out looking like the 5th member of Set It Off.
Oh shit. Oh, I mean, oh, Diane,
Exactly.
like Queen Latifah. Yo, Diane. Wait a minute, wait. Diane,
Take a picture.
wait. Diane. You know the meme that they did of wait a minute. You know the meme they did of Donald Trump with the cornrows?
Yes.
Diane, no.
Yes. Except mine didn't go back. They went on the left side, all the way down on the left. On the right side, all the way down. I was so mad. I couldn't even speak. My daughter did a number that I had done on her. So I remember a time when she was younger and I sent her to the hair salon up the street, the African shop where you get your hair braided at. I dropped her off to get her hair braided. She came out, hair was nice, the girl overcharged her. I said, oh no, I'm going back in there. Had a conversation with the lady, she refunded her because she tried to overcharge her because she didn't know she was my daughter, which I don't think should have mattered, but she did because she was a kid. My daughter got on the phone with me and was like, call her now. Get your money back or I'm calling her. So, last night, between me taking my hair loose, because I could not leave it like that, and drinking wine, I woke up a little tipsy this morning. So now I'm on the hunt to get my hair done again this weekend.
Wow.
So my question to you is, because I was so fired up last night, and my cousin even said, I'm shocked. You're growing. You're really growing, Diane, because I would have heard you down here in Newark cussing her out. I said, nope. Nope. So my question to you is, what happens when you get a bad haircut?
Well, when I was a kid and I got a bad haircut, I just had to wait for it to grow back. So
you cried a little when you just
yeah, because I went in. I remember when the high top fade was out, and he didn't give me a high top fade, right?
Yeah.
And then
Would he give you an extended bowl cut?
yeah, it was whack, whatever. But Diane,
it wasn't right.
yeah, and so because you're not facing the mirror, you don't get to see it until they spins you around, right? And Vincent, you know this, right? When they spin you around to face the mirror a little bit, you try to take a peek, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? You just try to because you want them to you don't want them to go too far before go beyond the point of being able to correct it, right? So, yeah, he had gone a couple times. My barber had gone, did his own thing, did what he wanted to do, had his own interpretation of what it was I had asked for. And again, you just kind of get up. And what I always hated was having to go home and pull out my clippers, right? So you sit there and you're listening to all the banter in the barbershop for hours, right? And then you get in a chair, you get your cut, and then you got to go home and you got to try to fix your cut after you paid the barber, right? And then the barber wants a tip, because if you don't tip him, then next time you're gonna get it worse than you got it. You're gonna get it worse than you got it this time. So yeah, I just had to wait and let it grow, D.
So, um,
But they didn't cut any of your
Vince,
hair, did they?
Vince, mute your phone. What you say, Kevin? I mean, Eric.
Did they
I'm
cut your
sorry.
hair?
No, my hair was already cut because I've been cutting the perm out of my hair over the last couple of months anyway. So I have cut it down short, because I've been wearing it almost natural. Um, so my my instinct was, in the world that we live in now, is I'm going to leave a review. But as a businesswoman, I say, and my review was just going to be simply a side by side picture of this and what I got, and let people decide for themselves. But as a businesswoman, I told my daughter, I'm just going to have to sleep this off and I will respond tomorrow because I'm too angry now. Because I did text her and she called me back, and the conversation was, oh, well, I didn't think that this would suit you, so I altered it because.
Oh, oh,
So, so
oh.
my statement to her, and then she said something else. I said something, and then she said, "Well, I could, if you want, I can redo the the front middle part." She said, "But then the sides have to be redone too." And she said something else, and I was just like, "I'm good, thank you. I'm good." Because my thing is, once you screw my hair up, that's one thing. Because I've actually never had a hairstylist screw my hair up. Um, Maybe once or twice a style wasn't right, but not a cut or a color or something like that. Nothing a permanent problem. So my thought was, I'm gonna have a conversation with her today,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna request a refund. And I may not get a refund, and I may not get a refund, and if I don't, I'm okay with that. But I'm going to have a conversation with her about her decision and what I asked for. And to do something arbitrarily without having a discussion with the client is kind of effed up.
No, it's unethical.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
it is unethical, and it warrants a full refund, Diane. If
Mm-hmm.
you look, here's what happened. You gave her a picture of what you wanted,
Mm-hmm.
right? So her process is, show me what you want me to do, and I'll do it. You showed her, and then she took it upon herself, like you said, without communicating with you, to alter what you specifically said you wanted. So had
Mm-hmm.
she
No,
had
see,
she said, after looking at it, you know what, Diane, looking at your bone structure, looking at the shape of your head, looking at these things, I know you want this hairstyle. However, I suggest, based on my however many years of experience doing
Mm-hmm.
hair, that you consider this as an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could say yes or no,
Mm-hmm.
right? But she didn't give you that choice. And for that, she owes you not only an apology, but she owes you a complete refund. Or
Mm-hmm.
or we need to take her shop to the woodshed on the show.
Or I take it to Judge Ju.
mm,
So wait a minute.
What,
So are you
what's your?
sporting a hairdo, or do you got a hat on?
Oh no, I took my braids out, so my hair is basically staying on top of my head. So I have a client that I have to meet at 12:30. So I'm probably going to just wear a hat. And then I'll come back, wash it later on today, and then curl it up again. I'll do a rod set. So it'll be curly. It'll be good. There's nothing that's not fixable on my end. But
So that's the other piece of it.
so, because you did not ask me, and this is the jaw dropper for all the women listening, because they will understand this. So this was not the typical African shop. This was a beauty salon, licensed hairstylist, young Black African American woman. So you get services are a little different, and that's why I'm trying to specify that. When you go into a typical African braiding shop, they braid your hair straight up. Either they supply the hair, or you braid the hair. Either or. They don't wash your hair. They don't condition. They don't do anything.
Right.
This
The
young
doobie
lady
shop.
wash, condition, and then braids it.
So the
Because
other
she's
thing that
hairstylist, so she knows to do it clean. So you didn't ask me how much it was.
but the other thing she could have I didn't ask you how much it was.
Mm-mm.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, guess.
All right. So she washed it,
Conditioned it.
conditioned it,
Deep conditioner. Sat under the dryer and then braided it.
and
And
then
I provided my own hair.
So I'm gonna say the braiding is a couple $100.
Okay.
Then the washing so you probably dropped 250. I'm gonna
That'd
say
be good.
I'm gonna say you dropped 250, and it would have been more if she did a great job and you would have tipped her.
Vincent. Yeah. 240.
See, I told you I used to do hair.
So my daughter says to me, she says, cancel the payment. Because, usually you pay Zelle, Cash App, or something like that. Nope. Because when I left you, I went down the street to the hair supply store in Hillside and said, oh, let me get some cash because I'm right here at the bank. And I gave her cash. Because my daughter said, this is why I don't carry cash. She said, this is why. When the service and stuff, if something like this happens, you can always cancel it. And then there's the discussion as to how much you think you should be paying for the service that you gave me.
But here's the other piece of this that I don't particularly care for. So she knows you're not happy. She admitted that she arbitrarily changed what it is that you wanted.
She said it.
Right?
Yeah. And she said it not because of my bone structure or it didn't fit me. She said it because of my hair length, which is not a problem because my hair is, at the shortest part, I have 2 inches on my hair, and then it gradually gets longer. But she said to me, why would your hairstylist, which she knows because they used to work together, why would she cut it, blah, blah, blah. So when I came in the door, she was already fussing and complaining. So there was an atmosphere of that, and then the result looked like a rush job to begin with.
Right. So she has an obligation to make you whole. So whole is back to square one. So because she didn't cut your hair, she just, she braided your hair. The thing that she should have done was offer to pay for your hair that you bought, right? And then to redo your hair like it was before you went into her salon. So you know what?
Well, she did offer to redo it, but this is my thing. Once you screw me up and you've arbitrarily taken your own direction, you've already broken the bridge between me and you as a client and owner. I don't want you to touch my head again. You don't get a chance to do,
because you no longer have confidence in them.
Not that I not only have confidence, I know that you may have a grudge, or now you're angry, and I don't want somebody angry in my hair either.
Yeah, that's true too.
I don't want that aura. So I don't want her to redo it because she did offer, and I said no, I'm good.
Now, when she offered, did she offer with an attitude or did she offer with remorse?
By the way, not remorse, not just well, I could redo it. type attitude. I mean, she didn't have a bad attitude or anything because it wasn't a bad conversation. It was just, oh, I got caught conversation, and then it came out as to why she did what she did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with Eric. She has an opportunity to make you whole, but since you're not accepting that, then somebody's gonna have to pony up my money.
So the other thing is, so my aunt says to me, because I have sent the pictures around to the family, and they are cracking up, that at what point did I realize that it wasn't being done correctly? And I said, at what point was I supposed to be a hairstylist knowing which direction that she's supposed to be doing what she's doing if I gave her the picture and she never told me at any point that it would not work? So I don't lie. I don't, there's 90%, 10%, or 80%, 20% responsibility on both ends. But yeah. But also, once it was done, it was not, and I know my temper, it was not the best thing for me to have that conversation right there at that moment.
Yeah. But legally, Diane, you're absolutely right, because once you two made an agreement, you had a meeting of the minds of services and desire, and once she decided to alter the agreement, she had a right to express that to you, like Eric was saying, but she didn't even do that. She just basically went all willy-nilly on her own. So, yeah, she owe you. She owe you big.
So, yeah. So that's where I'm at today. So I said later on this afternoon, I'll holler at her and have a conversation. Because I said I definitely needed to calm down from yesterday. So therefore, I drank a couple of glasses of wine and took my hair. And literally, it probably took me 10 minutes to take it all loose. And my cousin said, "You must have been really mad then." She said, "Cause that's so that's the thing. So if there are any hairstylists in the feed, by all means, give feedback as to how do you handle a fair conflict, and how should a customer handle bad results the most professional way? Because I want to be professional, because this is her business, and I don't want. That's why I said I didn't want to.
Hey, Diane. Diane.
Yeah. You mean want to throw a brick through the window?
Wait, Diane. Are you looking at my screen?
Wait a minute. I just walked away from it. Let me see what your face looks like now.
No, not my face. Wait, Vincent. Wait for it. Wait for Diane.
I'm here.
No. Wait till you see hear Diane's expression when she sees my screen.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because it's delayed.
Yeah, it's delayed. That's okay. We'll wait. Do you see it, Diane? Diane! Diane, I had to do it. I had to do it. Can you see it, Vincent?
I really appreciate that.
Vincent, can you see it?
Oh, God, this is classic. Can we post a picture of that hair?
Yo, hey, Diane, did you have that look?
What you say?
Did you have that look?
Did I what?
Did you have the look?
I had the look. I'm gonna send you the picture, but you are not to post it. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
All right, I won't post it.
You look so mad.
But that is the set it off picture right there. That is the set it off. Like when you think of the movie Set It Off, that's it right there.
You look like Frankie.
You know what, Eric? I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to.
You look like Frankie.
Oh no! Wait a minute, Diane.
You see it?
Yeah. All right.
Look bad?
You know what?
Okay, wait. Keep looking at it. Don't look bad. Let me send you the picture of what it's supposed to look like, Eric.
All right, but can I tell you something? Honestly,
What?
that hairstyle makes you look about 8 years younger.
It makes me look like a 5-year-old. I don't want to look like a 5-year-old, Eric. I just sent you the picture of what was supposed to be.
Wait, so she don't got to go in any of these directions. Yo, You know what? All right, can I tell you something?
Yes, sir.
She didn't know how to do it.
And she should have just said that. Which is
She didn't know
okay.
how to do it. I'm going to tell you that. She looked at that and she didn't know how to do it.
My cousin said the same thing.
Yes, because this has nothing to do with length of hair.
Mm-mm.
It has to do with the fact that she looked at that and she didn't know how to do it. She did a simpler thing and she thought that she was going to get paid and that you were going to be okay.
You were just gonna walk out.
But no, Diane, listen.
What?
I like it.
No, and effing no.
Hey Diane, you know what? I want to bring my double.
When Amina gets home,
Di-
show her those 2 pictures.
Diane,
That's
can
see, you are man. You don't understand.
can I bring my double Dutch rope over? Diane. Diane. Diane.
No. Just bring the jacks over. Y'all can play on the steps.
Whatever.
Diane, I know. Listen, now I understand. You know.
I didn't say it. The look made me look ugly. I said it's not what I asked.
No, it's not what you asked for. But I'm gonna.
I look like a 5-year-old.
You do. You do. It does make you look very, very young. But it's cute, Diane. But you weren't looking for. The other one's not cute. The other one's hot. So you weren't looking for cute. You were looking for hot.
Because I'm hot.
I said, okay, now I got it.
Okay. In winter, that's why. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
you do have a very girlish appearance.
Okay, Vincent, I will send it to you as much as reluctantly, and if this picture goes up anyway, I'm driving down there and I'm gonna bust you up in your head. But here go the picture, Vincent.
Okay.
This is what I got, and you tell me, and then I'll send you what I wanted.
all right, but I can tell people, that the picture doesn't.
See,
That look says it all.
But I can tell you that the picture doesn't look anything like.
That look says it all.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
You look like a 5-year-old who had to clean the blackboards at school.
But it doesn't look anything like the picture in Set It Off. It doesn't look like Queen Latifah at all.
No, she
No.
doesn't.
No.
Actually, I mean, it's a very basic style, but it doesn't compete to what you wanted. I see that what you wanted would have went well, but it probably wasn't in her skill set.
Yeah, she could. She,
yeah. So off to the African shop, and the black person. Then I had my hair like that, similar to that before. Remember, Eric?
Uh-huh.
So I had it done. It was done in Brooklyn, but my daughter was like, "Yeah, because of the condition, I wouldn't suggest to come over here to get it done." So that's where I'm at. Okay,
So-
Jody wants to see the picture. Jody, I'm going to text it to you. Trust and believe. Once you see it, you're going to call and you're going to fall out. I'll send it.
No, Diane's face makes you fall out. That is a.
yeah, hey Diane, if you just turned to the side, you could have had that Queen Latifah look. Like, yo. I got to take this picture of Queen Latifah down. People.
So it's a learning lesson. And I must say, even people with big mouths sometimes don't want to cause a confrontation, because I did not want to have a confrontation with a young black girl, because this is her business. And it's not that anybody else was in the shop, it was just me and her, but still. I thought in my head, how would I want my customer to come to me if I did something that they did not approve or they didn't like? How would I feel?
Right.
How would I want to address that? Because I've had crazy clients, and I meet them where they're at, and I'm cool with that. And we've always been, I've never lost a client because they got cussed out, So, so that's that. But yeah.
Wow. That was a horrible waste of time. And are you reusing the hair that you had?
No. You can't. Yeah, damn it, you got me talking like you, Vincent. No, you can't reuse the hair. I told you I cut it out. It is in the trash.
Okay.
So I am getting more hair, and I'm just going to go to the African shop. And the reason why I didn't want to go to the African shop, for you men who don't know, is because they braid so tight. It's like pulling your brain back into your neck.
Mm-hmm.
What
You
you
be
say?
sleeping with your eyes open.
So you got to take a couple of Motrin, a codeine pill, whatever, to get through it for days because it hurts so much. But anyway, so back at the home front, so there's a couple of things. If you didn't see, in New York, there was a school board member who was finishing up her wine glass as she gave people the finger on the school board meeting, Zoom.
Wait, what happened?
So the school board member was having a school board meeting, live Zoom for the public. She was drinking her wine, or what was in a wine glass, appeared to be in a wine glass, whatever the liquor was, you don't know. And started to say F you to the person that was speaking and put up her middle finger into the camera.
Oh, wow.
And this is in Buffalo, New York, school board member. So now people, as well as the newspaper, have been going after her for an apology in regards to her behavior.
And she considers that great parent relations and customer service?
I thought it was even more funny that her wig was a bit twisted, but
Oh, speaking of schools, the reports came in on preliminary how blacks are doing on virtual schooling.
They're failing. We already know that. What do they say?
There is a large population that is failing. The younger group is actually doing well. The older group, middle school to senior, are failing, but not because of work content. They're failing because they're not showing up.
That's interesting. And because they're home, so that means their parents are not making a top effort for them to be in class.
Correct. And the teacher,
or they may not still have access. So it could be a couple of different things. But yeah.
No, they said that there was a little over 90% of the children in America have access or have laptops. In terms of access and Wi-Fi, they didn't get all of that. They didn't get all that in. But the other issue is they're not doing their homework. The middle schoolers are not doing their homework. The high schoolers are not even showing up. And in most cases, they said some of the children have the computer on, but you can, one teacher talked about hearing one of the kids snoring, through so loud that it came through the camera. So we've got to do better as parents. Definitely.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well, that's not going to happen, right? I mean, not in a short time. I mean, these are learned behaviors, and bad habits, and to try to fix it now, you're not gonna. And which is why, I've been screaming, and a lot of other people have been screaming that, it's going to be horrible for black kids. It's going to be devastating for black kids. So,
But the most important thing is that the people who are doing most of the complaining about the schools, or the parents that are doing most of the complaining about the schools, are the parents who do the least amount of work with their children with the schools.
You think?
No. I've, like I said, I know a couple of teachers. I mean, most of my family are in education, and yeah.
The parents that are not participating, coming to teacher conference meetings, like, what do you mean?
Well, yeah. What do they complain about? When you say that these are the ones who complain the most, what are their complaints about?
Their kids not learning is the biggest complaint. My kids don't know this stuff. My kids not learning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know who those parents, because most of those parents don't care. They don't. They know that their kids. There's no surprise that their kids not learning. They're not checking the homework. They're not checking the report card. The only thing those parents get upset about is when they're inconvenienced and they have to go to school, or they have to miss a day of work in order to figure out what's going on. Then they're upset. But you have a group of parents who, unfortunately, don't go checking. I mean, I had my uncle was a truancy guy, and he went around grabbing up the. And he told me, he said, Eric, he said, go into those some of those houses. He said it was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. So those parents are not. No. And then you do have you have ones who care, ones who are advocating for their kids, and they're upset, and rightfully so, because the school is failing their children. So, but they're two different sets of parents. Probably more than that. So I'm simplifying it, but they're two different sets. There's a set that whose kids are failing and those parents are not complaining. Then there's a set who where the parents are doing the very best they can. They're just trapped where they are. They're looking for better options. There are none. And there was a promise of charter schools to be that option. That turned out not to be the case. And so these parents are trying to figure out how to get the best for their kids. So that's a different group of parents.
Yes, and if you look at it, this present situation is that the children, as we discussed on the show, the children are already operating on a deficit. They have already missed basically 2 semesters of the last year that they have to catch up on. Not to mention learning the material for this grade level. And because the governor just said, look, nobody fails, which was a big hurt. And now they have to catch up with what they missed last year, as well as, learn what they need for this year. And it's going to, these children can't do it on their own.
They're not gonna do. It's not gonna get done. So let us not pretend it's not going to get done. Right? When you look at the statistics of kids who drop out, right? So now when we talk about, look, this whole thing is going to be, you're going to see the, yeah, you're going to see an increase in, like somewhere down the line, you're going to see a blip in the data of an increase in the prison population. Because these kids are going to drop out, because once they fall behind, or they don't catch up, they drop out. They get discouraged, they get embarrassed, and they drop out. And then once they do that, they limit their options, right? And then once their options are limited, they make bad decisions, unfortunately.
But we're at the point where it can stop. That trajectory can change. It just takes parents being involved.
But here's where you keep missing it, Vincent. When I talk about the socially transmitted disease, we're talking about parents who, for probably the life of their child. So you say a fifth grader or a sixth grader, right, or whatever age you mentioned. That parent has been a neglectful parent that entire time, right? And so now you're going, oh, a light bulb should go on right now. I'm going, no, that parent, if you trace that parent's childhood, right, and you look at that, and you see what that parent learned or didn't learn, how that parent learned to care for education, right, or not to, or to discard it. That's what they're projecting to their children. Call or go.
I knew this was going to happen, guys, and I'm not going to blame this one on parents, although there is some things that we definitely need to fix. But COVID is going to put our children so far behind. There are places today that children still aren't remotely capable, right? What is happening to those children? There is no fix to it. There is no one trying to fix it. And our babies, I read an article a couple of weeks ago, and I think I posted something in maybe the first 4 months of COVID, trying to warn parents that this was, and I'm not going to say it was designed for our failure, but it was definitely not done correctly, because it was known, it was obvious that children in urban centers and in poor neighborhoods were going to be left behind, and not the federal government, but local governments and state governments did nothing to ensure that this didn't happen to our children. I read an article the other day that said just in the time span of schooling that we've seen with COVID now, our children are 4 to 5 years behind.
Yeah.
That is how detrimental this was. And these boards, school boards, and these education systems should be ashamed of themselves for allowing that to happen. I feel
But-
so bad about that.
Well, in terms of what they found is that it's less than 10% has access to Wi-Fi, but that less than 10%, the number shouldn't project, over 40% failing. And we, when talking about children education, we keep going through the 3-tier blame shifting. The parents blame the parents blame the teachers. The teachers blame the parents. The students blame them, and it's a combination where we are in this situation where this is something that we cannot ignore. We can't shift the blame. We have to, as parents, take full control and helping in solving this. One of the things that they're looking at, a majority of it, yeah.
But
teachers
Vincent,
do
how
have
do you do
responsibility,
this
but
when you
parents
have?
to be active in
But
their
Vincent,
lives.
how do you do this when you have parents who and I'm not saying all parents, but when you have
Right.
parents who suffer from arrested development, right? And then you're saying, ignore
Get a
that.
support group for that. We usually meet at the bar.
But you
Oh,
say,
close that.
Right? That's just beyond parents and teachers. When you're talking about Livingston, and these are like last numbers when I was there and in it, right? In Livingston, pupil per capita is like 9,000 per student when I was there, right? And in York, it was 19,000 and something per student, right? There is no reason why students shouldn't have in urban centers. Those are the big budgets. York has over a $1 billion budget, and you're going to tell me there's still students in Newark that do not have an adequate laptop to do school? That is not a teacher issue. That is not a parent issue. That is a district issue. That is an administrative issue, right? All that money you have, if we're laying off teachers while they were sitting at home in COVID, right? You were saying the budget's going to be cut by such and such and such dollars, but you were still going to get that $19,000+ per student that you had, whether they were in your building or they were in their homes. This is an administrative issue. Where is that money? If Diane still hasn't gotten her tax kickback for what she puts in to the school district in her area, and Newark, the city of Newark that's supposed to put in a certain percentage of the budget, has done it in the last 6 years I was there. They were keeping the money, but the city of Newark got all of this COVID money, and if a kid doesn't have a reliable laptop and a hotspot for Wi-Fi, is that a parent issue? Is that a teacher issue? No, that's a budgetary issue, and that just lets you know how at the top they just don't care about those children.
Well, in terms of the administrative issue, they have, and that's why they said that less than 10%, is an issue of supply, either Wi-Fi or laptop. But we're talking about over 90% of people that are failing is not because of equipment. They're failing because of God. I can't even describe it. Inability.
well, I'm telling you, they're failing because of this pervasive, socially transmitted disease. That's it. That's why they're failing, right? And so until we address that, right? So when things like this happen, the same reason, look, neglect, right? The same reason blacks, were dying at disproportionate rates because of the underlying conditions, right? Neglect. Um, didn't have adequate health care, right? Um, so uh, until we address the underlying conditions, and they're deep, it's not a quick fix. So I'm like Jody said, this whole group of kids, students, are going to be so much further. They were already far behind. They're going to be so much further behind now that
Yeah.
I believe the gap is insurmountable.
Correct.
Right?
You're right.
And
Now,
so now
that
what is the alternative for
Well,
for
the
those
alter-
kids?
that parents who are home now have access to the school board meetings and they still don't attend virtually. That's the problem. So you got the administration still doing what they want to do. Your child is still not learning at the pace that they should be learning. You're at home and have access to be able to go to the school board meetings that you claimed you couldn't go to before because you had work. Now you can pull it up on your phone, pull it up on your laptop, desktop, and people still do not attend the meetings.
I think one of the reasons they don't attend their meetings is because they don't want to face the simple fact of them being derelict on their responsibilities.
No, you know what? No, that's not it. It's not priority. It's not priority. I mean, it's as simple as that. It is not priority.
My
Look,
most precious resource is not a priority in my life.
no, well, wait, stop. Who says to you that to some of them, now again, it's not broad. There are parents out there who are trying and they don't
Yeah.
have adequate technology. They don't have the resources at their disposal. They don't have a willing board of education, a willing administrator, willing teachers. They don't, right? That exists. That whole
But
dynamic
yes,
exists.
they compensated for that. That's the
Right.
less than 10%.
Right. And now, outside of that, like I said, you have a group of parents who you would love to hear them say that their children are their priority, but that's just not the case.
Mm,
And we have to,
yeah,
and we have to acknowledge that.
we have to. Yeah, and that's a hard. That's hard for me to face. I mean, that is hard. I mean, I love my child. I would look. I would take a bullet so that she could live a better life. And, I would sacrifice, working, long hours, multiple jobs, if it would help bring her through college or whatever her endeavors are. But, and maybe that's just me, or am I a unicorn in this world where, people don't care enough to, have a conversation with their child and say, look, you got to get your butt up and get on that computer and attend school. And you have to do your homework. You have to do your assignments. I mean, what else do they do for most of the day that has a level of importance? For right now, for anybody. And I was raised that, okay, until you graduate from college, your job or one of your most important jobs is your education. Yet they don't treat it that way.
But that was because they came from your family and their morals. So if you come from a family who doesn't value education, how do you expect them to infuse that their kids? They are lackluster when it comes to education.
Not understanding that education is one of the most significant keys for your child coming out of poverty. The ability and understanding that gives them some marketable skills in which they can gain employment to better themselves, better their family, and even some kids can even help their parents once they get a suitable job. That's not a priority. The simple fact that this child did not ask to come into this world, nor did he or she ask to be in the present condition. But you, being the parent, have a charge of making life just a little bit better for them, or even making life a little bit better for their future by saying, you have to do this. This is what you have to do, my child.
That's your opinion. That's not a
True.
fact.
True. It is my opinion.
That's an opinion. Everybody doesn't have children for those purposes. Some people just had kids because they were collecting checks for kids. Some people
There you go.
had kids, they were forced to have a kid. Some people don't like it. And it reflects on their children. So you are dealing with a community of people with various backgrounds and conditions and concerns, and all of them don't boil down to education being a value. Everybody doesn't see that.
That's right.
If you're in a circle with people who don't value education and they value reality shows and wigs and weaves and dressing up to look like the people on TV, they're not valuing education. They're valuing what they see. So they don't necessarily associate education with getting out of poverty or creating a lifestyle. They don't see that. You see that, but they don't see that.
I see that because my parents saw it, and it became apparent to me when I gotten older, and was thankful of all the beatings and punishments that I had for bad performance in school.
Again, that was a family thing. Everybody doesn't structure. So you're trying to infuse your family structure on people who have no structure whatsoever. Who kids are raising themselves. They got an adult in the house, but they're still raising themselves and they're taking care of their siblings.
And they're being raised by grandma or great grandma.
Or not being. They in the house. Just in the house with them don't mean you're raising.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so on to the next thing. So parent. So Lil Wayne's daughter, Reginae, had the celebrity birthday party this past weekend in Atlanta, where there were close to 1,000 people who came to her 22nd birthday party. Her father performed, 2 Chainz performed, and apparently there's a mandatory, the mayor did an advisory for a mask mandate and orders on gathering to remain in effect, but she had her own private birthday party. So, and they showed pictures of the party and nobody was wearing masks and it was packed. There was also a situation here in New Jersey, in Oakland, New Jersey, where the restaurant was shut down this past week because they had an outdoor or half outdoor, half indoor event in Oakland. And literally, there were a few hundred people there, and people did not have masks on. So, what do you say? Parenting skills.
Yeah. Go ahead, Vincent.
Well, I guess Lil Wayne has adopted more of those Republican skill sets than just the love of his own money. Also, the lack of protection or the love of the people around him for lack of protection. I mean, that's a super spreader event. If Trump did that, the media would be all over it and talking about it. But, I mean, this is Lil Wayne. And, you know, he has a level of influence and power that is beyond that of most black men. Yet, you know, still with all of that in the sheer unmitigated gall of just celebrating this one birthday party.
Well, selfishness.
It's not a landmark age to actually meet. 21, if you're drinking age. 25, yes. You know, but 22, really? You couldn't wait one more year, Wayne?
But it's selfishness.
Was this selfish, or was this a young girl having a good time and enjoying life?
No, it's selfish.
It's selfish.
It's selfish. Because, so Diane, so you have to look at it in context, right? So in context of 250,000 people dead, right? In context of how many millions contracted COVID, right? Things shutting down, businesses closing for good, all of that, all of this is happening. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then in the middle of that, she goes, so what? I want to have a party. I want to have not just a party. I want to have a super spreader event. See, I want to have a super spreader event, and I'm okay with that. That's selfish.
So, staying in the state of Georgia.
Here are the numbers, Eric, as of today. John Hopkins report: 13,941,101 contracted the virus. 273,746 are dead.
Yeah, see.
Somebody listened to somebody that died from it.
Yeah.
See.
My wife went to a funeral Saturday.
Well, I told you about my uncle's funeral, didn't I? Now wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. Was the funeral itself a super spreader event?
No, they only allowed a set amount of people in, and everybody wore a mask. And then after that, peak group got up. The next group came in, but when they got up, it took a minute because they had to disinfect the home for the next group.
Yeah, they didn't do that with my uncle's event, and I left. I love my uncle, and I wish.
Did you go and get out the car? What did you do?
Did we what?
Did the drive-by?
No, Amina and I, we went in, and then we realized that people were not adhering to any social distancing or anything like that. And she said, Baba, I don't feel comfortable. So we left.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. So you know what? I'm putting a picture up again. I remember I used to do this, Diana. I used to have all the pictures and stuff up. So I'm going to put this picture up, and I want to ask you a question because you're a dog lover. Both of you guys are dog lovers. Right? So we're going to, kind of, I want to ask what you think about this. So here's a photo. So this little guy, she's not little. She's huge, actually. Her name is Ripley. And she's my daughter's pit bull mix, right? And my daughter has 3 dogs. This is Olivia in Oregon. And all of them she adopted. And she called me yesterday, and she was distraught because Ripley had to go to the emergency room. And they believe that she's got a tumor on her heart, but they didn't know what the issue was at the time. But Ripley wasn't eating and, was going to bathroom in the house, and she's well trained and knows how to go outside, but wasn't, and all these kinds of things. And so my daughter called in, I think it was 2 years ago. She spent, I want to say, close to $3,000 for a surgical procedure because Ripley ate a part of a tire, and it twisted up her intestines, and they had to go in. They had to deal with that, otherwise she was going to die. And so Olivia called me. She goes, Daddy, we have the money, to to take care of Ripley, and but I just don't know what to do. You guys are both now, and also I have a nephew who's got a blue pit, beautiful dog, and I had to have my mother get mad at me about this, but I guess this is her generation, right? So when my nephew's dog was ill, and I think that surgery was like $3,800. My mother said, well, so he came and he said, I got to figure this out. And my mother said, well, you're going to get another dog. And he said, what do you mean another dog? I got a dog, right? So he was kind of offended because my mother was just kind of dismissive, like, okay, I guess you're just going to put this dog down and whatever. And my nephew was talking about figuring out, like, how am I going to pay for this $3,800 surgery? He ultimately got it paid for, and his dog is healthy. What lens would you go to save your dog?
Well, for one, she should have pet insurance for her dog because that would help alleviate some of those payments.
We talked about that.
Okay.
Well, it's too late to get it now, but we talked. I said to her, I said, listen, you have some people who are dog lovers or animal lovers like you are, Olivia. And your dog is not a pet but an extension of your family. I said, if you are of that mindset, just like you would make sure that your children had insurance, you should get insurance for your other two dogs, right? Ripley, it would be too costly at this point given the pre-existing condition, right? But so she just has to, deal with the out-of-pocket costs of it. But I said, with the other two, you should investigate getting it. But can you see the photo?
I see it.
Yeah.
Cute dog.
She's she's
And
huge
so
too.
pet insurance doesn't work the same as health insurance for people, so she could still buy it today and still be able to reap some of the benefits. There's various different companies. She could just has to Google it, and she could use same day coverage because it helps. Because what happens with pet insurance is it's like a contract that they do with the vet to give you more of a discounted rate. So that's kind of how it works with some pet insurances. Some pay upfront for preventive care and stuff like that. When it comes to surgeries, it's a little different. But yeah, so she could still get it. I've had a dog that died from his stomach rupturing, but he was already at the vet, and the vet called me back, and he had already died. So I've never ever had to make a decision of a dog, put him down. They usually just die off. Various reasons not did old age or this one particular dog, but I'm not spending money like that on a dog. I probably wouldn't. Anything over 500 would be too much for me for a dog. And I like.
I'm with Diane.
I'm not doing that.
I'm with Diane. However, my wife is a total different animal. She will go the distance.
Yeah, I don't know what my husband would do, but I'm not. That's where I draw the line. $3,800? Yeah, nah. Sorry.
500 is the limit.
Yeah. What do you think?
Me?
You set up a GoFundMe page for?
No, I didn't do it. But I don't know what the reasonable amount is, right? I think that Ripley is not mine, right? So I couldn't say, spend this amount or that amount, right? It's what her heart is telling her in that relationship that she has with Ripley. And the same thing with my nephew, and the same thing with you two, right? So the relationship you have with, with your,
Animal.
with your pets, it dictates, and so I don't, it's not about judging, right? It's about, because no matter what it is, no matter what that dollar amount is, right, there's still going to be a hole in your so so it's not about for me about judging. I just wanted to just curious. Yeah.
So back to Georgia. So we done flew over. So where is she? Wisconsin?
Who?
The daughter?
No, in Oregon.
Oregon.
Oh, so you know what? Can I say this? So when she first went to the vet, she said, "Daddy, they asked if she had gotten into some weed, eaten some weed, or some shrooms, or some because some of the symptoms that she had, they found because they just legalized heroin in Oregon, right? Or they didn't legalize it; they decriminalized it, right? And so people are doing all kinds of stuff in Oregon now. And so the dogs, curious, can get into anything. And so, she, had to, continue to tell them no. And then they, when they got Ripley, they realized, what it was. But, yeah.
Well, On a lighter note, another group that did not endorse Joe Biden has now made demands.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me put that up. I got that picture too. Hold on.
Demands because Joe don't take demands.
That picture's up.
Okay.
That
So,
picture's up.
yesterday, we talked about the Hispanic Congress committee or group, whatever they are, who did not endorse Joe Biden yet made a demand on him. Yesterday, the president of the NAACP.
Oh no, this is the wrong. Okay, go ahead. But I got the wrong thing up. Go ahead. The president of NAACP.
Yes, who made a statement saying that when Joe Biden asked for some support, he made the statement public that the NAACP does not endorse or support candidates. Right? They made a demand that they talk with, that they have an audience with Joe Biden to ensure that there is some more diversity on his cabinet, or they want him to start picking more black people.
Oh, I'll tell him to get in line. So go ahead, Eric. Now you can repost it because.
Well, wait a minute. But before I do that, but the Hispanics, the Hispanics are saying we want more too. Now, historically, what? No. But historically, don't matter. It don't matter. Listen, black people have been caping for the Democratic Party forever, right? Didn't matter. But we always at the end of the line. So what? So what? But I'm gonna put this one up. Go ahead, Diane. Here we go. Wait a minute. Let me get it.
Essence.
Go ahead.
The real Kamala Harris states that on Native American Heritage Day, that she was thankful for the indigenous communities and their ancestors, and together with Joe Biden, she was going to commit to writing a new history together, upholding their treaty responsibilities, and making meaningful investments in the Native American communities. But this was posted on her Twitter accounts. But Wesley Princeton said, hold up, I thought you said you can't do nothing for a one racial
group. Well, specific group, correct.
That's what you told black people?
Mm-hmm. Well, doesn't surprise me because, as you all know, I'm not a Kamala Harris fan, but the hypocrisy is getting sick. I can tell you that. I mean, now all of a sudden, well, why don't she start talking about, some reparations for descendants of slaves? No. Oh, no. Oh, that's right, because she's elected. That's why she's not talking about it. Oh,
not talking about it because she ain't black. She ain't trying to connect with no black.
Oh, that's right. She's not a descendant of slaves. Yeah, that's right.
She's Indian and Jamaican.
Hey, listen. What I tell you, calm Allah. See,
I said Kamala.
No. Her job is to calm, right? Calm Allah. See, because when the uprising in the servants' quarter starts, they're gonna send her out there. They're gonna try to dress her up as black, but we told you she wasn't. But they're gonna send her back out there as black, and then they're gonna tell black people, "See, y'all into that nonsense again." No. We said, what's her lineage? What is she committed to? And a question was asked, and she gave that little chuckle. Black people? I ain't gonna do anything specific for black people. I'll do something for everybody. But no, what does this say? On Native American Heritage Day, she said, I'm thankful for our indigenous. Did she say she was thankful for ADOS? I don't think so. I didn't read that anywhere. So, but it's going to play itself out, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see how, well, I know what's going to happen because I've read this book before. black people going to continue to do the same thing. Black people, they're going to wait for the next Negro whisperer, the next slave catcher to catch them, to whisper sweet nothings in their ear. And they're going to cling like like the abused people they are to this abuser again. And they're going to, be supportive of the Democratic Party. That's what they're going to be. That's what they're going to be.
And never going to lead the Democratic Party. And so, back to Georgia, finally, the Republicans are telling their constituents not to vote in the next election. They claim that there is a conspiracy theory that because of the Chinese Communist Party, they have rigged the voting machines, and it doesn't make sense for them to come out and vote. And these are the attorneys for Donald Trump that's saying this, telling people in Georgia, do not vote for the Republican David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, because it's bizarre, baseless, and potentially self-defeating theory that the communist people of China have rigged the voting machines. This may be an easy walkthrough for the Democrats.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the strategy there is.
Warnock may win this.
Remember, Donald Trump said, don't vote early. Don't believe in mail-in ballots. Don't believe in mail-in ballots. Go to the polls and vote. Again, this is going to backfire.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the strategy there is to say don't vote for a Republican. Right? The Republicans are saying don't do that. I don't know. But they're all,
With
look.
Donald Trump, this is the scorched earth policy. He's looking to defeat Georgia because Georgia's certified against him.
Oh.
I don't know how that's. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to burn down the way he's mad too. I don't know. So,
yeah.
So Obama, Bush, and Clinton will take the coronavirus back and might film it to build confidence.
The only way I'm gonna believe that they took it is if I can administer it.
and I see it coming out of the manufacturer. And
That's
I
right.
can deliver it.
That's absolutely right. I gotta see it from the beginning. It needs to be like the Price Waterhouse thing where they certify it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have an independent.
They certified the lottery.
Yeah, Yolanda Vega. I'm sorry, Vincent. But
crazy. So, statement, the spokesman from Bill Clinton said the former president, in quotes, will definitely take a vaccine as soon as available to him, based on the priorities determined by the public health officials, and he will do it in a public setting if it will help urge all Americans do the same.
You know what Bill Clinton saying? What's the definition of a vaccine?
I did not take the vaccine.
Right. Hillary, I don't know what the definition of the word is.
Obama says
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Monica
I didn't
Lewinsky.
have relationships with that vaccine administrator.
I did not inhale.
Obama told Series X, the Joe Madison, I will be taking it and I will make it I will take it on TV or have it filmed so people know that I trust this science.
Again.
What I trust is getting COVID.
Yeah, again, look, and it's a shame for me to say it, right? But, and I know, well, maybe they're doing this with the best intentions of trying to urge people to take the vaccine. I mean, when it comes out, I'm gonna take it.
So their comments came as numerous polls find Americans are skeptical about taking the COVID-19 vaccine, potentially jeopardizing the U.S. vaccination efforts to control the pandemic, which has now taken at least 1.48 million lives worldwide.
Right, but what they don't understand is part of the mistrust is not just with the medical industry or the pharmaceutical industry, it's with government, right? Mm-hmm. And so now you have these government officials, these who were the highest, who the most powerful in the world, who lied, all of them. They all lied. Bush lied about Saddam Hussein. Clinton lied about Monica Lewinsky and some other stuff, right? Obama. Now, and you guys have. I'm gonna post this. And I don't know if you listened to it. Yvette Carnell just ripped Obama a new one for the lies he told on the Breakfast Club, right? And so all of them lie, and so then they can say, "Well, we're going to tell the truth now. We're gonna take this vaccine." Nah, and then so now, is there any wonder that people are skeptical about whether or not it's a vaccine that they're taking, or whether it's just saline in a syringe?
Or if it's something else. So states expect.
Hey, it could be a disinfectant.
Exactly. Lysol, right?
Lysol.
So they said they expect to distribute it in as little as 2 weeks. Now, there's been a meme that's been going around social media, and they talk about how they give you the shot for the flu shot, but they can't cure the flu. They give you and they have not since cured the common cold and some other things. So why should we think and trust that this would actually cure COVID-19? So what they also say is the FDA, that Moderna and Pfizer late last month requested emergency clearances from the FDA for their COVID vaccines. The reviews by the FDA are expected to take a few weeks, and the agency has scheduled a meeting for December 10th to discuss Pfizer's request for authorization. On Tuesday, the CDC prevention panel voted 13-1 to give healthcare workers and long-term care facility residents in the U.S. the first coronavirus vaccines doses once it's cleared for the public. So you're going to save the seniors, the residents in facilities, or whoever that's in a long-term facility, because they're not necessarily seniors all, and the healthcare workers.
Well, they're saying that they're going to do the first responders first.
Well, they're healthcare workers.
Right, and then they're going to do the seniors, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
That also includes the police and fire.
So I was listening to Tucker Carlson the other night. I banned both Fox and CNN and MSNBC from my life for a while, but as I was flipping to get to Everybody Loves Raymond, it stayed on Tucker Carlson long enough for me to hear him ranting about this decision to go with first responders first. And he was saying that they need to deal with the most vulnerable. But what I'll say to anybody who listens to Tucker Carlson, it's kind of like this: if you don't deal with the first responders and they contract it, who's going to be there to deal with the senior citizens when they get it? See, so you have or whoever. So you have to make sure that your that your medical workers, that your emergency people are healthy enough to deal with the emergencies that may come. Right? So it's just like, but I just think that Tucker just didn't have anything else to complain about. The election's over. He's got sour grapes there. They realize that Donald Trump is getting ready to, blow them out of the water with his, television network that he's putting together. And so Tucker's trying to, find a new angle to rant and rave at something. So, but.
So here are 5 mistakes that you're making with your hand sanitizer. First one, you're using do-it-yourself hand sanitizer.
That's right.
Most of them don't work. Hand sanitizers need to contain at least 60% alcohol, says the CDC. With at least 70% alcohol should be effective.
Any particular flavor?
What'd you say?
Any particular flavor alcohol? Like we're talking about gin or vodka or?
Well, here you go. I'm about to tell you. The bottom line, homemade solutions just don't get there, including ones made with vodka, which are typically 80% proof or 40% alcohol. So no. So the second thing is you're not using enough hand sanitizer. You want to use enough hand sanitizer to cover all surfaces. That means enough to cover both hands, front and back, and in between your fingers.
Mm.
So you got to lather up with it. The other thing is you're not waiting for the hand sanitizer to dry. Rub your hands together until they feel dry. About 20 seconds, advises the CDC. That's interesting.
You know, my sister read a report. Vincent, you may be able to Google it and find it, where she said a lot of the hand sanitizers are toxic. Yeah, because she's like, really, yeah, that people are rubbing these toxic chemicals on their hands. That these companies were rushing to make this stuff and.
I believe it. You're using hand sanitizer when your hands are visibly dirty or greasy. In order for it to work, hand sanitizer needs to be sufficient contact with your skin. If your hands are not covered in dirt or grease, rubbing them with hand sanitizer isn't going to do anything. What you do instead is wash your hands with soap and water, dry them, then use hand sanitizer.
And then when you wash your hands, they say you should sing the happy birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Which version?
Sing the happy birthday song twice.
Well, listen, if you sing the Stevie Wonder version, then you may be late for your appointment.
By the time you get to the chorus.
Yeah, you get caught up. You forget about whatever you were doing. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, okay. And the last thing is you're using hand sanitizer instead of soap and water. Soap and water are actually more effective in certain situations. For example, norovirus, crypto, pursuitative, and blah, 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 with other chemicals. They can soap and water as your first line of defense, and hand sanitizer, soap and water are not available. So stop using hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizers. That's what we said in March with Lori. Hand sanitizers are ineffective. Soap and water.
No, they're not ineffective, but they shouldn't be used in replace of soap and water. Soap and water should be the first thing, but if it's not available, then you can use hand sanitizer. But if your hands are dirty and greasy, soap and water is what helps, and then use hand sanitizer. So, yeah.
Oh, by the way,
ineffective.
What you said, the FDA came out with a report on hand sanitizers. Only ethyl alcohol and isopropyl alcohol, also known as 2-propyl, are accepted alcohols in hand sanitizers. Other types of alcohol, including methanol, 1-propanol, are not acceptable hand sanitizers because they can be toxic to humans.
First of all, who is wasting their money with their vodka and washing their hands with vodka?
Yeah, that's a shot.
Well,
Two shots.
They're not. Listen, they're not washing. They're not
Explain
washing
that
it.
to me. Your hands smell like vodka.
They're not washing their hands. They're soaking their phalanges so they can suck on them later. That's what pickle.
Disinfector contaminated spittle.
Yeah, pickled fingers. That's what they're doing. They're working on something.
That's kind of gross. I don't understand why that would happen, but yeah. So,
No,
go ahead, Vincent.
They just did a report on all of the government officials who were talking about stay at home and found a huge level of hypocrisy in 7 of them.
Oh, right. They don't stay at home.
No, they don't stay at home, and if they did stay at home, they had large Thanksgiving parties.
Are you surprised?
One governor who took a flight to go to his elderly aunt's house for Thanksgiving.
Just passing it on planes.
I'm telling you, it ain't never going away, man.
So look, I had a friend that just came back from Mexico, and they said Mexico, when you go through customs, they spray you down with some stuff. They said when you come through, it's like you feel refreshed.
But wait a minute, didn't I say that? I said they should have foggers. They should have the government should have big foggers. And when you go into like Costco or BJ's or something, you should have to walk through this mist. Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, they should.
Like my wife set up at our house every time I come in the door. There's the fogger.
Yeah,
like
blast
when
you.
go to Costco's in the freezer section and you feel that air, just around the perimeters, it's just like that, just like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm telling you, like
Micro
they
mist
should have people dressed like the Ghostbusters out there with the big things, and just as soon as you go, poof, a plume of smoke. You just-
Who you gonna call?
that's right. A plume of a plume of something, man, to disinfect you. Something that's not stained. Listen, I'm something that doesn't stain the clothes,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? But
Mist.
yeah, a mist.
No,
Yeah.
a mist would be too wet. It has to be a dry mist.
A micro mist.
Yeah, dry mist. You could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You could. Somebody will take that idea from us. So Ice-T's father-in-law.
Raz Baraka have it set up for his next town meeting.
Yeah. He gonna meet him up at Marlowe's.
So, Ice-T's father-in-law, who was an adamant no-masker, is now on oxygen indefinitely. COVID has been in the hospital for weeks. 62. No, he's not 62. But now he posted up a picture on his Twitter page saying his father-in-law, Coco's dad, was in serious no masker. COVID hit him, pneumonia in both lungs, 40 days in ICU, close to death. Now he's on oxygen indefinitely. And he's now a believer.
Right, but you know what though? But here's my issue, and I said this, and I'm sorry for being callous if that's what you want to call me. Why, if you know, you decided that you didn't want your liberties invaded, right? Your freedoms, right, encroached on, right? You're an American, you get a right to do this stuff. But you don't have a right to put other people in harm's way. So when you contracted it, I'm talking about Coco's dad, when he contracted it, why run to a hospital where where there are other people who you could possibly infect? Just stay your ass home, die. Like, I'm sorry, but like,
Why go for help?
why? No, not go for help, but go and risk other people now, because you decided to do this. Own it now, right? And so this is why. When Tucker Carlson says, "Oh, you know, senior citizens should get it," no, see, because these people, they don't get a chance to turn Coco's dad away. They have to bring him in. They have to treat him, right? Even the idiots they have to take care of. So even you, Tucker Carlson, you idiot, if you contracted it, they take care of you too, unfortunately.
So Coco dad said being in the hospital for a month was like jail. No windows, no
God.
laying in one spot.
And now he's bitching. You know what? See, this is what I'm saying, you ingrate. Just go somewhere and die. Like, I'm sorry, but do that. All of you. Like, I mean, it's like the people, Diane, where they tell them, you know, there's a hurricane coming or there's a snowstorm coming, evacuate, and then you get to people, oh, I'm gonna ride it out. I'm gonna stay. I ain't going nowhere. And as soon as the tough, you know, as soon as it starts getting tough, they call the National Guard and they risk these men and women's lives to come and save their dumb asses. I say let them drown. I say let them burn. I say whatever the catastrophe was, you wanted it, now you got it. My grandmother used to say, you make your bed, sleep in it. I'm sorry. Don't risk somebody else's life. You shouldn't have a right to do that. See, that to me is the epitome of selfishness. See, I want what I want whenever I want it. So right now, I want my freedom. I want my whatever. I want this. I want to put other people in harm's way, right? Because I don't want to wear a mask. Then when I contract it, I want to put people in harm's way. So at the end of the day, right, I want to put people in harm's way. That's what I want to do. They should say no. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I gotta stop saying that. No, I'm not. This is ridiculous. People should sign a waiver, right? So all the anti-maskers, right, anti-vaccine people sign a waiver.
Similar to do not resuscitate.
Yeah, that says if I contract it, right, hospitals and doctors are not responsible for reviving me. Let's see. Put your money where your mouth is.
So in the ethnic minorities aren't dying from the coronavirus at a greater rate than the white people because of the virus. It's racism, because of the institutional racism. Black and Hispanic people in U.S. are disproportionately exposed to air pollution and more likely to develop asthma. They're more likely to live in food deserts without easy access to fresh produce. Black people are systematically untreated for pain because of racial biases in healthcare. So there was an article in The Guardian of a 14-year-old young girl, Honesty Hodges, who contracted coronavirus, went to the hospital. They sent her home, and she passed away. Literally, probably like a couple of days after they sent her back home from the hospital. Part of it was misdiagnosis, as opposed to go home and feel better. They stated that at the time when it happened, this was actually something back in 2017 when she was violently handcuffed by police. It was like a viral video that went out at the time in Grand Rapids, and they talked about how if it had happened to another white child at her age, they wouldn't have been handcuffed. And now, fast forward, she contracts coronavirus and still mistreated when she goes into the hospital.
Okay, I got a question, guys. So, if I travel to New Jersey for the Christmas holiday, does that make me bad?
Yeah, you're supposed to, not bad, but you're supposed to self-quarantine. I think they said for 14 days.
Right. So I would say if you travel,
you shouldn't be out and about.
Yeah, if you traveled.
So I have no intentions, right? I have no intention of going out and about. I need to see my baby. It's approaching a year. I haven't touched my kid. I'm going to be there for like 8 days or 7 days. I plan on just staying at my brother's home with my daughter's dad.
So this is what I would suggest, Jody, and this is how our Thanksgiving went. My daughter went to go get COVID tested. She tested positive. We canceled Thanksgiving. Then she took another test, and it was a false positive, but we still canceled Thanksgiving anyway. You should take a test because you are out working the facility amongst other people. So I would say 14 days before, a week before, I would be taking a test to confirm that you were negative. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't contract it along the way. If you stop at a rest stop or something like that, you just don't know. But I would think the same on this end with a family that you were coming to visit. Because you really don't know what to do but to self-quarantine. But when you know that you aren't quarantining because you're out and you're working amongst other people, you just have to be extra precautious. And then you have to think, is touching my baby more important than me seeing my baby alive? And I know it's very difficult.
Dr. Fauci said, we should all assume we have it. So, if you assume that, how would you operate? What would you do? And
here's my plan. So I have gone through this because this will be the second vacation, right? I planned a vacation and earlier, and I think a couple of days before I was supposed to leave here is when New Jersey shut down. And they actually, it's when our numbers spiked, so New Jersey was saying if it's from the south, it couldn't come into New Jersey. So I shut that vacation down, stayed at home in my bed. This is round number 2. So my intentions are to take this trip in. I'm not going to go. I'm going to drive to New Jersey. I'm going to drive from 3 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning. I plan on not stopping at any restaurant. I have my gloves. I'm very safety with that. So I plan on packing my own food for me and my little girl as we drive. And it says stop for gas, use my gloves, use my mask, and just come to Jersey. None of the stop because I don't think I have it, but I don't really expect it, right? So that is the best way that I feel like I can, protect myself, protect other people. Is just, I just take the drive 3 hours of the morning where I can, limit my access. But that's and I'll take Diane. I'll go get that COVID test for me and my baby girl, so that if I am pulled over, I at least have that negative test in the car for both of us. But I just, you guys are talking, I'm like, I wonder if they're going to think I'm a bad person for coming up to Jersey.
The rule of thumb in terms of actual safety is that a majority of it that you're going to wrestle with is your own judgment. The rule of thumb is this: if you have to question your judgment, then generally you're making the wrong choice.
Wow. Go with I say go with what's your instinct say? It never lies.
Exactly.
And it's, I'm telling you, it's unfortunate, but God forbid if something happened. The worst extreme. Like, how do you deal with that?
Well, how do you deal with the knowledge of, after you leave, someone contracting it and you finding out that you had it and you could have been a spreader? How do you deal with that?
So, in other words, Lysol and wipe down everything and pee on the side of the road so you got to go inside to the restaurant. And make a couple of bologna and cheese sandwiches and fry up that chicken the night before, roll it in some Wonder Bread and some foil, you'll be good.
Mm-hmm. And
I try to limit my restaurant behaviors as it is, but I just want to see my kids. I feel like I need to touch them.
We all do. I want to see my great aunt like you wouldn't believe. And I mean, she just had her 80th birthday, and I mean, I really, really love this woman. But in all good conscience, I can't put her or me or the rest of my family in danger. I really, truly can't. I think that, if the vaccine approves, it's going to be some time, but I'm just going to look towards the future and the time where I can be with her and hold her and hug her and give her a kiss and not have to worry about me doing anything that will kill her.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah. I mean I haven't. I mean Amina and I, for the most part. I mean I go to work, right? I go to the bakery and I do what I have to do there. I'm as responsible as I can be there, and then I come home, and I understand too that whether I'm in the bakery or making deliveries to clients and such, that at the end of the day I come home, right, and I'm responsible for what I bring in this house and what I expose Amina to. So it is that, and we talked about this before, right? When we had Dr. Wright on, Vincent, that we have to be more communal in our thinking and less selfish, right? So I wanna see my grandmother, right? She's 98. She's gonna be 99 on Christmas Day, right? In just a couple weeks. She'll be 99. I haven't seen her since they quarantined St. Mary's Villa. I mean, my mom, goes over because she's a caregiver, and then I got to be careful with my mom because my mother goes there, right? And so, so it's crazy. So back for 1 second. So when my uncle passed away, my family was going to gather at my aunt's house for a repast. And I said to my mother, I said, you can't go. I said, they shouldn't go. And, my mother looked at me and she said, okay. I said, but not only should you not go, but if we understand the science of this, if your sisters go, then you can't even go to grandma's house because they go there.
Yeah.
I said, so
Yeah.
you have to have the conversation with them that says, hey, listen, these are the days that I go to, she calls my grandmother Mama, right? So she said, these are the days I go to Mama's house to take care of her. And these are the days that you guys go. If you're going to go to this super spreader event, right? And we got to call it that. Then you guys are on your own. I'm out. I'm out. Because I can't, because now when my mom comes home, she's she's around my sister and my great niece, and so it just, and but this is how the thing spreads, right? Because one person gets it, they may be asymptomatic, and then they go here and there and the other place, and they don't know. And so Dr. Fauci said, act as though you have it, because then you would proceed with more caution. But when you behave as though you don't have it, then you aren't thinking about it, and you're more likely to do reckless things. And I'm not saying reckless like you don't care. Of course you care. Like I care about my grandmother. But if I like stopped thinking about coronavirus and started thinking about how much I love my grandmother, right? Then I'm gonna try to get into St. Mary Villa to go hug her, right? We're gonna miss her 99th birthday. Think about that. Like, so I'm just like, wow.
This virus has stolen so many monuments and milestones in all of our lives. I mean, I was talking with my cousin yesterday about, and I said, well, not about me, but, my daughter was a senior last year. She missed on her prom, her class trip, her, in fact, she missed on her cotillion with Jack and Jill. And she missed out on so many because of this virus. And, people were just saying that, no, we are going to err on the side of caution rather than have super spreader events and spread the harm or possible death to everybody. It really is going to take that mindset for us to crush this. And, I mean, we've just got to hold on till, this vaccine has proven to work and we can start to, build our lives back. But, yeah, we are all in this and we are all suffering in our own way. The one thing that I don't want to be is the cause of someone else's death, nor do I want someone to be the cause of mine.
Oh, you guys are killing. You are killing me.
You know what?
Well, here's the other thing. While we haven't been able to do some of the traditional things in the traditional ways, we haven't lost out on celebrating each other and enjoying each other and having conversations, meaningful conversations, and putting down devices and TV shows and stuff like that, and interacting during Zoom. Because while it is not the same, it is not like the internet is down and we cannot communicate with people. So we can't communicate. We just have to pivot in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, so for Thanksgiving, we did in the morning. We did so Amina cooked, and she cooked an amazing Thanksgiving dinner. But we did a Zoom call with my side of the family. I think it was at around 12 o'clock or something like that. And my aunt, who is the oldest and only surviving child of the oldest in the family and surviving child of my grandma Emma, said a prayer for all of us, right? So people were still in the process of cooking, but she said a prayer, and then we kept the Zoom open for maybe 2 or 3 hours. So people were doing stuff, and then somebody would pop back in, and and have a conversation, and so it kind of felt like, wow, we're together. And then after we ate, we did a Zoom with Amina's family, and we had nice conversation. We talked about what, and yes, it's different. I get it, but the comfort, right? So where I look and say, I was finding comfort in hugging them and being around them. What I'm finding comfort in now is that me being here is keeping them safe. See, that's where I find my comfort. Like that I am adapting to this, and it is helping slow the spread, and it is helping keep them safe. So I'm doing my part, and that's where I'm finding the comfort now.
Yeah, we did the same thing. Stayed in our house, zoomed in with both sides of the family, and yeah, I mean it was fun. It was the same loudness. It was just minus the hugs. And but yeah, and I'm like you, Eric. I found comfort in knowing that my family is safe and
Yeah.
that they're doing well.
I mean, look, I just found out. I found out my older brother, 2 days ago, tested positive for COVID-19. So he's, in isolation now. Um, you know, just before Thanksgiving, my nephew, who's a Newark police officer, tested positive for COVID-19. Um,
Yeah, we gotta take this really super serious. I know young people. Guy went to college with me, 48 years old, um, dead, dropped dead. I have a cousin, 32, dropped dead. So you have to be super serious and put life ahead of wants and needs right now because it's really important. I mean, they got Newark cops dropping off like flies from COVID because they've been out interacting with people that's been sick. I'm telling you, this is the truth. The truth hurts. This is the truth. I mean, my daughter and I would be planning right now, packing to get ready to go on vacation. We can't do nothing to go anywhere. But there are other people that's doing it.
And a part of the truth is that with the COVID, you just don't know who has it.
yeah, yeah, that is the
And
thing.
then the thing about traveling is, if you get sick where you go, now what's the repercussions of that? Now you gotta quarantine where you at. Now you can't come back to work. Now you lose money. Like all of this, it's like a ripple effect of stuff happening. It's serious. And death is final. You can't take it back. It is final. So, on the last 6 minutes of the show, to bring it up with, so Jody, what did you think about the pictures?
So I said it just, I think the hairstyle that you wanted was hot. That was really nice. And I looked at the picture, and you are absolutely right. Take that out of your hair. You are not a kid, and you look. Eric is so right. It's like it definitely pays you down. You look like a little girl, and we're grown women. We don't want to look like little girls.
Hey Jody, when you saw it, didn't you want to go get a red brick and draw a hopscotch board?
Whatever. some of that big colored markers out there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And braids do that, right? In certain styles of braids, like if I braid my hair and do it and put it in like the ponytail kind of thing, I look like a kid. And it's weird. I'll be 52 in April. When I was 40, I kind of based it on that looking like you were 30. And I'm 52. I'm 52. I want to look grown because I'm grown. And I thought that the hairstyle that you wanted was actually really cute and kind of hot and spicy. You look like a little girl, Diane, with a mask on.
A mad little girl. She's like a mad little girl.
Mad, temper tantrum, ready to fall out in the parking lot. But I held it together. I was
No.
good.
You look like you.
Really good.
You look like you were about to take your earrings off and put some Vaseline on your face.
And mind you, I had makeup on. I didn't even look like I had makeup on. I mean, she really made me look like a little kid. I was like, wow.
Yeah. One thing I gotta say, Diane, is that you were right in your selection. I think that your face type and complexion that hairstyle would really work well for you.
Well, God willing, anytime between now and the weekend, I'll have my hair done. Probably with some light rain.
I agree with you, but Eric, you used to get money back. Now, I kind of a few sister every Thursday that I don't care how many times I say to her. I mean, every time I go to her, and I go to her because I think she'll come to my home. I can go to her home, and she's licensed, and it was great. But she never did what I asked her to do, right? Like, never. What it did stop me from doing is, like, don't pick up a pair of scissors, give me a curl, just wash it and blow me or wrap me and curl my hair, but don't pick up a pair of scissors. I stopped that because, I'm asking you to cut off the edge and you're cutting off four and you're doing your own thing and you act as if it's nothing, but, and I'm a nice tipper. So I was able to train her that she knew that if Jody doesn't give me that $15 tip, then I did something wrong. So she started doing the right thing. But if it's something like in the shop, I'm with Eric. He should give you your money back. It was totally, I would actually, before I walked into the shop, I would send her the same two pictures you sent me, and I would walk in the shop with like, now what? Because it was actually, it was so totally the opposite of what you asked for. So, give my money back. Because I need to go somewhere that got a hairstyle.
Speaking of which, Diane, your show Saturday, how did it go?
What's Saturday? Oh, I didn't do a show that. Wait a minute. No, I didn't. My next show will be this Saturday. I will be interviewing Eileen Marciel. Her company is Wills and Moors. We're going to be talking about wills and estates, why it's important to put your stuff in place before you pass away, and not expect your family to be able to handle what you think the way you want it to be handled. So that'll be this Saturday at 11 o'clock. Thanks, Vincent.
No worries. My show today will be on what does the holidays and domestic violence have in common. At that same time period, they're both on the rise. We'll be talking with the director of a homeless shelter for women, aid for women who for abuse and women with AIDS, talking about how their children are displaced now during the holidays, and the rise in domestic violence with the holidays mixed in the COVID environment. Oh, by the way,
all of that in 1 hour. That's a lot.
We move quick. Oh, by the way, we would have had Senator Menendez, but just got a text that there is an emergency meeting going on at the Senate, so they may be voting on the stimulus package.
He always has an emergency when it comes to being on the show.
He don't want no parts of me. Anyway, listen. Thank you guys. I am on my way to the hospital to hopefully, knock on wood, get my CT scan, and hopefully I'll be able to report on Facebook in a couple hours that it is 2 years cancer free. So throw one up for me, and I'll let you guys know as soon as I'll let you guys know as soon as I find out.
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you guys. Oh, and Jody, I don't know. I know your cobbler is being worked on to get to you. Right. I know Diane has communicated with Monique, and Monique has communicated with me, and it's in the bakery, and so she just has to get it to you now.
oh, I hate to say this, right, but you hold my cobbler, because I'm coming to church, and you may not want to.
I'm gonna leave it on a listen. I'm gonna leave it on a porch with a smiley face and a beautiful note.
He might have to
Wait a minute.
bodyguard it with
No,
a
no.
shotgun
I
because
no.
the
I'm not. No.
pirates on the rise.
That's right. I'm not leaving it on the porch, Jody. I had a savage come on my porch and take a package a couple days ago. I'm trying to enhance the
Wow.
picture now in Photoshop because he was an idiot enough to have his mask down, so I'm trying to clear the picture up and I'm just going to post it. And I'm actually going to boost it throughout Newark, East Orange, and Bloomfield. I like to have a conversation, my quote fingers, with him. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Sanitize properly. Sing whatever version of Happy Birthday as you wash. Just wash, wash, wash. And as Vincent says, if it's God's will, we'll see you tomorrow. And Vincent, I'll see you at what time am I going to see you, Vincent? 2?
Oh, you're going to see me at 3 o'clock for the 4 o'clock show.
At 3 o'clock. There we go. So let me get up to the hospital. Thank you guys. Love you. Be safe.
What you got to say at 4 o'clock?